All of you can give your attendance in the chat box. I repeat, all of you can give your attendance in the chat box. Okay, the time is now 3:15 p.m. Just give me a minute so that I can present my screen and then we will start the class. Can anyone confirm me whether my slides are visible or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, it is
Yes,
visible.
sir, it's visible.
Okay, thank you. Due to some work, I could not able to take the last week class, so I will manage it in the coming week. So if you remember, in the last class we have started module number 3, and in module number 3 we have discussed the very first topic, that is stress concentration. What is stress concentration, that we have discussed. Then how stress concentration is generated in any mechanical component, that also we have discussed. We have discussed what is stress concentration factor. It is denoted by symbol kt, which is given by the maximum stress to the nominal stress. And what is this nominal stress? This nominal stress value is that stress value which we obtained from the concept of strength of material. For example, if in a body tensile load is acting, then the tensile stress generated by that body will be given by load divided by cross sectional area. That stress will be the nominal stress. If a body is subjected to bending moment, then the bending stress will be acting, and the equation of that bending stress is what? It is m into y by I. That stress will be your nominal stress. Same goes for the body subjected to torsion also. As well as I have also discussed about the cause of stress concentration. That means why or what are the reasons due to which stress concentration arise. That is due to abrupt change in the cross section, due to machining scratches during the manufacturing of the component, due to discontinuities present in the component, and so on. So if you all remember, I think in the last class I have discussed till this much slide. Yes or
Yes,
no? If anyone can
yes, sir.
respond. Okay,
Yes,
fine.
sir.
So in today's class, if possible, we will try to solve numericals also. So that's why if you have seen in your official WhatsApp group, I have told you that keep ready your design data book if required, because today we will be requiring that design data book to solve some problems. Fine. Okay. So the last theoretical topic of this particular stress concentration is the different methods by which we can reduce stress concentration. So before discussing this topic, I want to know from you all that whether stress concentration is essential for a machine component. It is a desirable thing, or it should not be present. If anyone can answer whether stress concentration is desirable, that means for a designer, if I am the designer, what I will want? I want that the component which I am designing, in that component stress concentration should be there, or stress concentration should not be there.
Should not be there.
Should not be there.
Should not be there is the correct answer. Why it should not be there?
Sir, if more stress is occurred, then failure chances of failure
Yes,
is more.
as we know, as we have discussed in the last class, that due to the presence of discontinuity in any component, that discontinuity can be abrupt change in the cross sectional area. That discontinuity can be if you drill some holes in any component. That discontinuity can be due to the presence of key waves present in the component. It can be due to the presence, if you cut, say if you cut any thread in any component, that is what, that is also a kind of discontinuity, because the cross section of the entire object is changing due to cutting of thread or some scratches or something else. So if you do these things, what will happen is that stress concentration will take place. Stress concentration will take place, and we know that in stress concentration, the region where the discontinuity is there, that region is subjected to maximum amount of stress, as a result of which the component can get failed very quickly. And as a design engineer, I will be wanting that my component should sustain for maximum number of time, for maximum number of cycles. I don't want that my component should fail after 1 hour or after 2 hours or after 10 days due to the presence of stress concentration. So we cannot remove completely, we cannot remove 100% stress concentration in any component, but we can reduce the amount of stress concentration by different methods. Is it clear? Any doubt in this?
No, sir. Clear.
Okay, okay. So how we can reduce the stress concentration effect? See, it is written over here. Although it is not possible to completely eliminate the effect of stress concentration. Why it is not completely possible? Because if you see the any particular machine component, fine, if you observe that component with the help of microscope, definitely there will be some amount of scratches will be there during the time of manufacturing of that component. So you cannot reduce the stress concentration completely 100%. Due to manufacturing, there will be some, it can be 10%, it can be 20%, but some amount of stress concentration is always present. What we can do is we can reduce or we can minimize the effect of stress concentration. How we can do it? Several methods are there. Here I will discuss three methods. Fine, in book you will find 4 to 5 methods are there. Here I will discuss the main important three methods. Those methods are: firstly, addition of notches and holes in tension member. Means additionally you have to add notch and hole. For example, if you see this component, can you see the topmost figure?
Yes, sir.
If you see the topmost figure, what is the topmost figure? Topmost figure is nothing but a rectangular plate is there. In that rectangular plate, what we have did is we have made a V notch. We have made a V notch, identical V notch both the ends. And this V notch is what? This, due to this V notch, stress concentration will take place, as a result of which the stress will be maximum near the region of this V notch. That means material will fail quickly, will fail very easily. As a design engineer, I don't want that my material should fail quickly. So in order to remove, or sorry, in order to reduce the effect of stress concentration, what we are doing is nearby areas of stress concentration. This is the main stress concentration area. Nearby stress concentration areas, what we are doing, we are additionally adding notches, we are adding notches, or we are adding holes. As a result of which, what will happen? The stress will uniformly distribute. For example, assume that this is a road. Assume that this is a road. in this road there is a big ditch is there. So if you are traveling and this is the lane, this is the lane of the road. Fine. This is the lane of the road. Fine. Say 10 people's 10 people. This is lane number 1, this is lane number 2, and this is lane number 3. Fine. 10 people are there and all the 10 people are using lane number 2 to move from one end of the road to other end of the road. In between a big ditch is there. Fine. What will happen? Accident chances of accident occurring of accident will be much more. Fine. So if in place of this or nearby the big ditch, if I put small ditches in the form of bumper or in the form of small ditches, fine, then the rider is knowing that yes, the coming 1 kilometer road is full of small ditches, so definitely he will try to ride the vehicle very slowly. Then the chances of occurrence of accident will be very less, he will not get injured. Same case with the component also. In nearby to the stress concentration area, if you additionally add some holes or if you additionally add some notches, the stress or the region, that maximum stress region will get equally divided, will get divided equally, as a result of which the failure of the component will take some long time to take place. It will not take place very easily. Is it clear? This first point, that is addition of additional notches and holes in tension member. Any doubt?
No, no, sir.
Fine. Similarly, what you can do is, if a component is subjected to tension, either you can add additional notches or you can add additional holes, or what you can do, you can remove the undesired material from the particular component. You remove the, for example, wait, say you need to design this component, you need to design this particular component. Fine. Then no need to add this particular region. No need to add this particular region. Or else what will happen? Again, stress concentration will take place. Again, your material will be very much prone to accident. So these are the 4 ways by which you can reduce the effect of stress concentration if any component is subjected to tensile load. Either you can add additional notches or you can add additional holes. But remember, all these additions, where you will be doing? You will be doing nearby areas of stress concentration, or you will remove the undesired material present in the component. So this is the first way by which you can reduce the effect of stress concentration if any component is subjected to tensile loading or compressive loading. Is the concept clear?
Yes, sir.
Any doubt? Okay. Second method. Now assume that a component is subjected to bending moments. Then what will happen? Then the component will try to bend. Then in that case, if there is any abrupt change in cross section, then definitely stress concentration will be there. For example, see, this is what? This is a stepped shaft. See, this is shaft number 1. This is shaft number 2. Obviously, shaft number 2 is having bigger diameter as compared to shaft number 1. And the dividing region between the shaft number 1 and shaft number 2 is this particular region. Can you see this region? This region. And this region is known as shoulder. We call this region, in mechanical term, we call it as shoulder. shoulder. Shoulder means abrupt change in the cross section of the shaft if it is subjected to bending moment. Fine, see here, if the diameter of this particular shaft is d1, diameter of this particular shaft is d2, and obviously d2 is greater than d1. Fine, so this is the shoulder region, this is the shoulder region. That means this particular region as well as this particular region, in this region stress concentration will take place, your material will fail very quickly. What you can do in order to reduce the effect of stress concentration, either you make a fillet near the shoulder. You can make a fillet by giving suitable radius. This is your fillet. Stress concentration will be evenly distributed. Or you can make an undercut near the shoulder region, or you can make a notch near the shoulder region. That means a notch is also being made as well as a fillet is also there. So these are the three different ways by which we can reduce the effect of stress concentration if any component is subjected to bending moment. That means if in that component bending is happening or bending stress is generated, then this is how we can reduce the effect of stress concentration. Is it clear? Any doubt? Hello?
No, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And the last method by which you can reduce the effect of stress concentration is, say, now if you are having a shaft, this is what? This is the side view of a shaft, and on this shaft, what is there? A keyway is cut. See, this is what? This is a keyway. A keyway is what? Keyway is nothing but a slot in which you can mount some other mechanical component. That means this is your shaft. Like this. This is your shaft, and this particular region is what? This particular region is your keyway. Keyway is what? Keyway is nothing but a slot in which you can mount the other mechanical component with respect to shaft. And since keyway is what? Keyway is nothing but discontinuity. If you see from here to here, cross section is circular, but here the cross section is not circular. You have cut an keyway. The height of that key or depth of that keyway is h, and the width of the keyway is w. So there is a discontinuity in the cross section of the shaft. If discontinuity is there, that means stress concentration will take place. That means this particular keyway, that means the stress concentration will be high nearby areas of this keyway. In order to reduce this stress concentration, what we are doing, we are cutting or we are making additional holes nearby to the area of the discontinuity, which is keyway, so that nearby areas of keyway, the stresses will be evenly distributed. Your shaft will take longer time to fail. So these are the three main important methods by which you can reduce the effect of stress concentration. But keep one thing in mind, 100% reduction of stress concentration cannot be done, can never be done. That is an ideal case. But yes, you can reduce the stress concentration amount to 60% to 70% by all these mechanical methods. Is the topic clear? Any doubt in this topic?
No, sir. Sir, can you just repeat what is shoulder means? Abrupt change.
Shoulder means, for example, okay, wait. See, a bar of circular cross section with a shoulder and subjected to bending moment is shown in the figure. That means assume that this is one shaft, and with this shaft you want to connect one more shaft of some different diameter. Cross section is same, circular cross section, but of different diameter. Then assume that this is that second shaft, both are connected in simultaneously. Fine. So this particular region, this is called shoulder, because from this particular region, from this particular cross section, this particular cross section is the dividing region of the cross section of the shaft. That means your entire shaft will fail at section XX, where the shoulder is present, where the stress concentration will be maximum. So in order to avoid this, the effect of stress concentration, I am converting this shoulder by a small fillet, by giving a small fillet at both the ends, small radius of fillet. That means I can do like this, then the second shaft.
Yes, sir. Understood.
Understood the difference? See the
Yes,
difference.
sir.
Difference over here and difference over here. So what will happen? See, this is a curved region. So if say you are traveling through this road, this is your road. This is the road which you are traveling. Fine. So once you reach at this point, now you know that there is a turning. There is a turning of say half kilometer. So you will be cautious that in this turning, if I drive my vehicle at a speed of 100 kilometer per hour, chances of occurrence of accident will be much more. So better I should drive my vehicle during this, in this turning part, say by 30 kilometer per hour, then the chances of occurring of accident will be less. In mechanical term,
Sir,
we are
means
calling it
stress
as
concentration will be considerably low.
yes, by giving this fillet. Your region or your stress will evenly distribute in the entire cross section of this fillet. Now this part is clear. Any doubt?
No, sir. Clear.
बाकी लोगों को कोई डाउट है किसी को?
No,
Hello.
sir.
No,
No,
sir. Clear.
sir. No.
Okay. Fine. So let us move forward. Fine. So with this, we have completed the theoretical part of stress concentration. Now comes the numerical part. But before starting the numerical part, you need to know some things. You need to know some terminologies, some graphs from your design data book. So I hope all of you are having that design data book at present with you. Are you having all those things? Then only it will you can understand these things, or else it will be difficult to understand. सभी के पास है कि नहीं है डेटा बुक?
Yes, sir.
ठीक है, okay. So if you open your data book, design data book, fine. You will see some kind of graph. You can see some kind of graph. This is one graph. This is second graph. Then this is third graph. This is fourth graph, and some more. Can you see those graphs? If you can confirm me, check your design
Yes,
data
sir.
book and confirm me. Can you see those graphs?
Yes, sir.
ठीक है, okay. Now I have told you that stress concentration value depend. It will vary from problem to problem. It is not necessary that in a single problem only tension is happening. That means that particular component is subjected to tensile stress. It may happen that sometime the component is subjected to bending stress, sometime the component is subjected to torsional stress, sometime the component is subjected to only tensile stress. Fine. Then how to calculate the values of stress concentration factors KT? For that, we will be using design data book, and we will be using these graphs to calculate the values of stress concentration factor Kt. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, how to calculate? So let us see the first figure. Fine. This is what? This is a finite width plate with a transverse hole. That means you are having a plate. This is a rectangular plate. In this plate, a hole is drilled at the middle of the plate. Diameter of that hole is A, width of the plate is W, and on this plate what is happening? Tensile load is this load is subjected to tensile load P, due to which tensile stress will be generated. And what is this H? This H is the thickness of the plate. Then we know, I have told you in the last class, that stress concentration factor Kt, it is what? It is the ratio of maximum stress divided by nominal stress, where the cross section is abruptly changing. Fine. So if I want to find out the value of sigma max, it will be what? It will be Kt into sigma nominal. Fine. And what is sigma nominal? Sigma nominal are nothing but the nominal stress, which we find out from the concept of strength of material. For example, if in a body tension is happening, then the tensile stress generated will be given by sigma is equal to P by A. Bending stress generated, if there is any body, then the bending stress generated is given by M into Y by I. Similarly, the sigma nominal in case of torsion can be torque T into R by J. Fine. So first of all, my target is what? We have to find out the value of this Kt by the help of design data book. How we can find out? Fine. See, it is given. See, the formula for nominal stress for this particular condition. That means for a rectangular plate with transverse hole. That is what? Load divided by cross sectional area. Load is P divided by cross sectional area is what? Cross sectional area is your W minus this A, because we have drilled this hole. A is the diameter of this hole, W minus A, into the thickness of the plate, that is H. So this is the same expression. In place of A, I am writing it as D. In some problem, this diameter of the hole can be D. In some problem, thickness of the plate can be T, because this is the standard term that we normally use for diameter of the hole D and thickness of the plate T. So the formula becomes sigma naught is equal to P by W minus D into T. Fine. I need to calculate what? I need to calculate Kt. How you can calculate? See, in x-axis there is a term called A by W. That is A by W. What is A? A is the hole diameter, which is given to me in the problem. What is W? W is the width of the plate, which is also given to me in the problem. So I can get the ratio. I will divide A by W will give me some value. Say that value is, assume that value is 0.5. Fine. Now from this 0.5, what I will do? See, you can see this curve. Can you see this curve? This curve line? Can you see this curve line?
Yes, sir.
Fine. So from 0.5, what I need to do? See, and since I know that Kt is in y-axis, so corresponding to A by W equal to 0.5, I want to find out the value of Kt. How I will find out? From 0.5 vertically, I will go till this curve line. Intersection point of this curve line and this vertical line. because my a by w value comes out to be 0.5 after calculation. Fine. This is that particular point. From this particular point, again I will go horizontally along negative x direction. This will be the value of kt. Now we can see that kt is lying between 2.0 and 2.2. Either you can take an approximate value or you can take an interpolated value if you want to do the design calculation correctly. Likewise, we have to find out the value of kt in each and every case. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
So every time, in order to find out the value of kt, first of all you have to understand the design problem. Accordingly, you have to choose the correct graph, whether you want to choose this graph or this graph or this graph or this fourth graph. Accordingly, you have to, for example, if I talk about the second graph, if you talk about the second graph, what is second graph? Second graph is applicable for a flat bar with a shoulder fillet intention. That means if you are having a bar and if that bar is subjected to tensile load P, fine. Then how to get the value of kt? Fine. See this formula. If you see in the very first diagram, formula of sigma nominal is given to you. Fine. It is not necessary that every time this formula of sigma nominal will be given to you. No. You have to understand. See, it is very much clear from the first diagram that the resisting area will be what? Will be the width minus this whole diameter into thickness. So it is not necessary that every time this sigma nominal value for each and every case will be given to you. No, you have to understand the problem, what is happening in the problem. Accordingly, you have to choose the sigma nominal value. Either the entire problem will be subjected to tensile stress, or it will be subjected to bending stress, or it will be subjected to torsional stress. Fine. If you see the second case, for a flat plate with a shoulder fillet, fine. I know that kt is what? Kt is, that is what is kt? Kt is equal to again sigma max. I am writing sigma max by sigma m divided by sigma nominal. I told you that sigma nominal we have to obtain from the concept of strength of material. So this is your diagram. Fine. So since the entire bar is subjected to tensile load, so the tensile stress will be generated, and that tensile stress will be the nominal stress sigma naught. That will be what? That will be load. Load is what? Load is T divided by cross sectional area. Since the cross section is rectangle, so the area will be width into thickness. But it is very much clear from the diagram that thickness value is T. This is thickness. This is thickness T. This is your thickness T. This is T, and this is also T. Fine. But what is the width? Which width you will take? Whether you will take capital D as the width or you will take small d as the width for calculation of nominal stress. बोलो कौन सा विड्थ लोगे? कैपिटल डी वाला विड्थ लोगे या स्मॉल डी वाला विड्थ लोगे?
स्मॉल डी वाला सर.
सॉरी,
स्मॉल डी वाला.
स्मॉल डी. क्यों स्मॉल डी? कैपिटल डी क्यों नहीं लूंगा? Because in design we normally, a designer normally design the component for maximum stress. That means if sigma naught is maximum, your area need to be minimum. If you take this particular value of D, multiply it with T. If you take capital D into T and if you take small d into T, for which case area is minimum? Small d into T area is minimum or capital D into T area is minimum?
Sir, small d into t.
Small d into t area is minimum. If small d into t area is minimum, then only your sigma naught is maximum. That means your design is safe, because for maximum condition, if the body can resist any kind of load, for minimum condition definitely it will resist that load. So that's why I see the formula of nominal stress is P divided by cross sectional area, and that area is small d into t. Is it clear? Any doubt?
No, sir.
This
No, sir.
equation of sigma naught, and this equation of sigma naught is not given in your design data book. You have to remember. Okay, just wait for a second. Yes. So I know that sigma kt is what? Sigma max by sigma nominal. So if I want to find out the value of kt for this second case, can you tell me how we can find out? I have already told you for the first case. See the diagram and tell me how we can find out the value of kt. If you see in the second diagram, again kt is along y-axis. This is my kt, and in my x-axis there is a term called r by d. What is r by d? This d is nothing but this particular diameter d, or this particular width of the plate d. And what is r? Can you tell me what is r? This small r?
Sir, fillet radius.
Yes, this is your fillet radius small r. If nothing is given in the problem, assume that that fillet radius is in mm. Normally we don't give large amount of fillet radius. We give a small amount of fillet radius. So if specifically it has not been told to you that this fillet radius is in centimeter or meter, don't take it. Always assume it to be mm. So this small r, again it will be given to you in the problem. This small d, again it will be given to you in the problem. From the diagram it is very much clear. You will find the ratio of small r by d. Say that the small r by d ratio comes out to be 0.12. This is my 0.12. Fine. So I got the value of small r by d to be 0.12. Now,
Sir, then we will move horizontally from
no,
0.1.
how we can move horizontally? Because if you see in the graph, in the first case there is only a single curved line is there, but in the second case many curved lines are there. Capital D by small d equal to 2, capital D by small d equal to 3, capital D by small d equal to 1.5, capital D by small d equal to 1.10. So along which curved line you will move vertically from 0.12? Do you know?
No, sir.
Yes, you know. How you know? In the problem, capital D will be given to you. This
And small d
dimension
is also.
given to you.
Yes, sir.
From the question, you have to identify the value of small d. Then you will take the ratio capital D by small d. Assume that capital D by small d comes out to be 2. See? Capital D by small d comes out to be 2. Then you know that this is that curved line corresponding to capital D by small d equal to 2. Now from point 1 to you have to move vertically upward
Yes,
till
sir.
which curved line? Till capital D by small d equal to 2.
Equals
This
to
is
2.
that point. From this point again you have to move along negative x direction horizontally. You will get the value of kt. So this value will be 2.0, 2.2. That means the middle value. That is 2.0 plus 2.2 by 2. Understood?
Yes, sir.
But sometimes, see, I am telling the direct values of small r by d. But if I want to make the problem little bit complicated, I will give you the ratio of in the same problem small r by d in such a way that it will lie between 0.12 to 0.16. It will lie in between 0.16 to 0.20. Then you have to use the technique of interpolation. I hope all of you know interpolation. You have did in mathematics. Yes or no? Hello.
Yes, sir.
You are having three values. One value is 1, second value is 2, third value is 3. X is equal to 1, x equal to 2, x equal to 3. At x equal to 1, y is something. At x equal to 2, y is something. At x equal to 3, y is something. You need to find out the value of y at x equal to 2.4. Then what you will do? That 2.4 value is lying between 2 and 3, between x equal to 2 and x equal to 3. For x equal to 2, y is having some value. For x equal to 3, y is having some value. Then you have to interpolate between those 2 points. You will get the value of y for x equal to 2.4. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Likewise, you can have to calculate the values of kt. If r by d is not, if you are not getting the value of r by d directly, similarly it can happen. Say capital D by small d is 1.5 and capital D by small d is 1.3. While solving the problem, your capital D by small d comes out to be 1.34. Then what you will do? Then you have to assume capital D by small d, if it is 1.34, it will be nearer to capital D by small d 1.3. That means you have to draw an imaginary line like this. This will be capital D by small d equal to 1.34. This will be that line near about, and your small r by d comes out to be 0.19. Then this will be randomly that point 0.19. From this point you will go vertically upward. This is that point. From this point again you have to go horizontally along negative x direction. That will be the resulting value of kt.
सर एग्जाम में मतलब इसमें इंटरपोलेशन भी या नॉर्मली अज्यूम करके कोई नियर वैल्यू का कर्व पे
You can do it, assume करके आप कर सकते हो, but if you are a design engineer, एग्जाम में तो चलो ठीक है आप कर लोगे, बट अगर आप इंडस्ट्री में, अगर आपको बोला जाए कि भाई मुझे इस शाफ्ट में मुझे स्ट्रेस कॉन्सेंट्रेशन का फैक्टर निकाल के बताओ कितना होगा, फाइन, तो उस केस में तो आपको इंटरपोलेशन ही करना पड़ेगा. आप तो एज्यूम नहीं कर सकते. थोड़ी ना आपको पता है कि आप कोई भी एक वैल्यू एज्यूम कर लोगे, वहां पे फेल हो गया तो आपका शाफ्ट
यस सर
अभी ठीक है, बट ट्राई करो कि इंटरपोलेशन करके करो, तो उससे क्या होगा, योर डिजाइन विल बी इन मच मोर सेफर साइड. अगर टाइम नहीं मिलता है, यू कैन टेक दैट अप्रोक्सीमेशन वैल्यू, नॉट एन इशू. इज इट क्लियर?
यस सर.
Fine. Likewise, see, for this case, this is the third case. Again, if you see your design data book, this is what? This is a shaft with a shoulder fillet in tension. That means if you are having a shaft, that to step the shaft, see, this is a shoulder. This is your shoulder, and yes, this is your shoulder. And see, in order to reduce the effect of stress concentration, you have cut a fillet. You have made a fillet over here. You have made a fillet over here. But in this case, the entire shaft is subjected to tension. Then again, I know what is KT. KT is sigma max by sigma nominal. Sigma nominal, I have to find out from the concept of strength of material. Since a body is subjected to tension, and since it is a shaft, cross section of the shaft is circular, what will be the area? Area will be again pi by 4 into d square. But which d? Capital D or small d? This particular shaft is having a diameter capital D. This particular shaft is having a diameter small d. Which d I will take? While calculating
small d, as you have said,
I will take the smallest diameter cross-sectional shaft. That means your sigma nominal becomes P divided by cross-sectional area is pi by 4 into d square. You will get the value of sigma naught. And how to get the value of KT? For that, see, again, this term is there in x-axis, small r by d, which you can easily get from this diagram. Fine. And you are having capital D by small d, different curves are there, which this value of capital D by small d again you can get from this diagram. Then corresponding to that value of r by d and that particular value of capital D by d, the corresponding value in y-axis will be your KT. Then you multiply your KT, that is stress concentration factor, with the nominal stress value. You will get your maximum stress induced in the given cross section when stress concentration is present. Is it clear? Any doubt?
No, sir.
Fine. Likewise, this is the case. The rightmost diagram is what? It is a case of a shaft with a shoulder fillet in bending. But that means when bending is happening in the shaft. In this case, when tension or compression is happening in the shaft, then the nominal stress equation becomes M into Y by I. Fine. I is what? Again, I is pi by 64 d to the power 4. Which d? It will be small d to the power 4. What is the value of y? Y will be d by 2. Fine. You get the value of sigma naught. Then you need to find out the value of kt. Kt already you know how to find out. Corresponding to r by d value, which you will get from this diagram, and corresponding to different capital D by small d values, again you can get it from the diagram. Fine. The corresponding point, the intersection point of small r by d and capital D by d, that intersection point, from that point, if you move along negative x direction, fine, on this positive y axis, you will get the value of kt. Fine. Likewise, if you see your design data book, different cases are there. So for different cases, different diagrams are there. Fine. And these diagrams are taken from experimental data. So we normally use these diagrams in industries also in order to design any component when there will be a stress concentration. Fine. And then you can find out the value of kt. So remember, you have to read if any problem is coming in the exam, first of all, you have to understand the problem. In that problem, what the problem is saying, how the diagram is looking like. Accordingly, you will choose the correct graph and you will find out the value of kt. Sigma naught, again, I have told you that it will not be given to you in the problem. You have to assume the correct sigma naught from the concept of strength of material, multiply that sigma naught value with the stress concentration factor value, you will get the value of maximum stress. Is it clear? Any doubt?
No, sir.
Fine.
No, sir.
Okay. With this, we have completed the theoretical portions of stress concentration factor. Fine. In tomorrow's class, what we will do is we will try to solve some problems related to some design problems related to this stress concentration. Then it will be clear to you that how the things are happening. Any doubt?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Fine. Okay. So if with this I am ending my today's lecture over here. If anybody has not given his or her attendance, you can give your attendance in the chat box. I am here for 1 minute. If you are having any kind of doubt in today's lecture, you can ask, or else you can leave after giving the attendance. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome.